all day long. And then Benny says, people from Chicago hate the name Chiraq. You better quit using that.
Well, I'm nice and safely tucked here in Southern California.
Y'all want his address? And Walter says, black people are screwed. We are screwing ourselves, and we have to help. And we have the help of the government that will let us vote 70. That wouldn't let us vote 70 years ago, or would let us.
Yeah. No, going back to Chicago again. It was named one of the most beautiful cities in the United States, but at the same time, the oxymoron is its death capital is just, the killing that is going on there.
But you know what, from what I understand, Chicago doesn't even have the highest murder rate.
No, it doesn't.
It's like Detroit and Louisiana and all those other.
But I'm just saying, it's in the black community, it's very, very high there.
Right. So and then Walt also says Democrats are another reason blacks are swinging low Negroes.
Yep,
Absolutely.
Absolutely, brother.
Listen, you can't talk about the Democrats, Beyonce, Obama,
or Weave. Without them losing their mind. Weave. They will fight
Al
you.
says, speaking of power, 50 Cent and Ghost are friends again.
Oh, right on. Right on.
Our friends again. How convenient. Kanan made up before a big gunfight. I guess blood is thicker than vitamin water. Yup.
Yeah, the vitamin water.
And Secret Guardian says, D, you're going to get banned from the Democratic room. They're religious of sorts. True believers. Yeah, I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm sorry. I forgive me. Don't hurt me.
Yeah.
I was like, these for real. I was just asking a question like, can you tell me why black people are so loyal to the Democratic Party? Like, tell me one thing they've done to help progress black people.
They gave me food stamps and told me to kick my man out.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what they did?
That's what they did.
Was that a good thing?
Yeah, because guess what? I don't need no man for nothing. I can do it on my own. Wait, the EBT system's down? Oh, Lord, these kids gotta eat.
I don't know what to do.
Let's talk about that one lady that had those 15 kids.
No, we ain't going to talk about her.
She's in the news again.
We're not talking about her.
Okay, I'm just saying I could give you thousands of cases.
Ben says, even though I like power, I see your point but my thought is you got to be able to separate entertainment from real life. Yes.
Yes.
You know what? But I'm going to say this, Ben. You know I love you.
Very straight. That was a good point.
And we do I agree, but at some point in time, it's like, we got... Like what we gotta. I'm speechless because we gotta ask ourselves, why do we need that type of entertainment? Why? I mean, because we can't complain about the rappers who are running around in dresses and fingernail polish and all this other stuff, singing nonsensical music, and then give Power a pass. I mean, Power, like I said, I'm not approved, but I had to stop watching it. It was just so dark and so evil. And we're not understanding the messages that are being inculcated into our mind.
And I'm glad that you said just that right now, because that's what I was going to talk about. With the mental illness that's going on in our community as a whole, and I believe it. You might not believe it, but I do believe there's a lot of mental illness. There's a show on BET that I've been watching too. It's called For My Man, and it is ridiculous how these younger girls and kids, somebody got killed over an Xbox. How can you go to your girl and say, hey, I'm going to go rob this guy for his Xbox because I want to play Madden? And they went and did it it's normal.
But how many people are out there trying to be Ghost?
Right.
You know, we had a rapper, not we, but the entertainment, XXXTentacion or whatever his doggone name was. He was murdered over a Louis bag and money.
Wow. It's just sad. Like I said, if somebody has a mental disorder, you don't put a gun in their hand.
Right, I agree with you.
So.
And Benny says, now this is getting closer to what I'm talking about, accountability and acknowledgement of our mental illness. We speak on the problems and beg for solutions, but when the solutions involve stepping away from the behavior that we've grown comfortable with and that we love so much, the destructive behavior is the behavior that we defend tooth and nail.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like,
amen.
if we want to tie it to the entertainment thing, we can't keep calling it entertainment because we know that the power that be use entertainment because, let's be honest, black people like to be entertained.
We like to be entertained,
They don't use it in a good way. They use it in a negative way. Like, I wasn't entertained by watching Power after a while. It was creeping me out.
Yeah,
so
I had to turn it off. I watched like the first 3 episodes and I was done.
Yeah, it's too dark. And then Ben, you say Spike Lee was an idiot for that movie. How you make light of people dying? No, absolutely. Yeah. I was shocked that Spike Lee did that. It's like, okay, maybe he's getting rusty? What's really going on?
Right, it's falling off or
It was
something.
awful. And then it says government is in Chicago killing people. You know
Yeah,
what?
I believe that. I believe it.
wholeheartedly believe that's what's going on.
I believe it's a Intel operation going on an Intel Pro operation.
And Walter says until we start saving money, until saving money is made sexy and swag life, blacks are doomed.
Yes.
Yeah, because at this point we predominantly think it's sexy and swaggish, if you will, to spend money, to buy stuff we don't need, to be seen on the scene, with the latest this and the latest that and all of that instead of saving money. And I tell my daughter all the time, cash is king. All that other stuff is cute. Not that she's like that, but, I impress upon her. And, every dime we get, if we don't need to spend it, we need to save it because you just never know.
Hey, well, I'll tell you this. Whatever y'all do listening out there, do not owe this girl some money because she will come up on your door and she is serious about her money. That girl does not play.
You used to know that the day we stop killing each other and considering our life worthless, we will start to move forward. The black man is on the verge of extinction, replaced by mama baby.
And that's what you've been talking about, how we're disappearing. Not just on that plane, but other planes.
Where was we at the other day? I was in AutoZone or something.
Yeah, we were at the
I was
AutoZone.
like, look around. It's only us in here.
Yeah.
But that's everywhere we go. Like, we are leaving, y'all. We are disappearing. And then Alex says, I went to Chicago, and after leaving the ghetto, I realized the city should be called Shy Shack. And we said we wasn't going to make jokes about Chicago and hit his food. We have a cat, Misty, on the table. I guess the co-host.
Yeah, she's the co-host. We got to get her time in.
And why does Misty always like to drink out of my cup?
Because it's a female cup.
It's a female cup?
It's a female cup. She likes that.
Female cup?
Yeah, she likes your lipstick. Hi, Mama.
Secret Garden says, we're killers. That's the message. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's like now
it's scaring people.
Now we got the kids doing it. So it's like if we don't, gosh, it can't be that hard. I'm just like, why is it that hard to follow? They got the kids killing. What is that trying to tell us, y'all? And you know what?
Be afraid of black people. We're dangerous. Put it out there. We're dangerous.
It ain't even that. It's because they already have that
stigma.
That stigma about us. But it's like, because they know we are so asleep at the wheel. Here, put that in front of them. Keep it for a snap.
Right.
Make the kids
a mental person, you give them a gun, and they're going to start shooting.
You know, when we was coming up, y'all, there were certain things we couldn't watch. We had to go to bed, but people were letting the kids watch this stuff.
Well, the thing is, we couldn't watch it because granddad, uncle, or somebody's already watching the TV, and the only time we were allowed to come in the room was to turn the channel from down the street with the pliers.
Hurry, get out of here, boy.
Yeah, you know.
Then he says, look at The Purge. They put shit in movies like, that's true. They're sending in special ops in these cities, taking out people. Yes, we talked about The Purge last week.
Yeah.
And I got that same point, and that's what made me think about places like Chicago. Like, nah, it ain't just the people living there doing that. And Ed says, we need to roll with Aunt Maxine. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
I'm not going to say a thing about Aunt Maxine.
I got him, Ed. I got him.
Yeah.
And Dean says, Democrats and Negro spiritual go hand in hand. Unfortunately. Used to know says, because Democrats provide welfare, Section 8 child support, and are against fathers' rights.
Yes.
And so, okay, but let me ask y'all this. I'm going to play devil's advocate to y'all, okay? I understand why a black woman, to all your point, would agree with the Democratic Party. What's a black man's excuse?
We're trying to get the punani, and we're going to just do whatever we got to do to get it.
That's why you're a Democrat?
I'm not a Democrat.
I know you're not, but I'm saying the black men.
To me,
what is it? The Democrats, black people are Democrats to the tune of what,
96%. Yeah.
Golly. Yeah. So what's a man's excuse for being a Democrat?
And it's sad because if you really look at both parties' platforms, we should be should be Republican,
right?
By their platform and what they stand for, because subconsciously black people are conservative subconsciously,
right?
So.
And then Dean says Ben is right. I see comedy skits on Facebook, which I hate, where they're doing ghetto shit. They need to make it clear this is just a joke, but because not everyone has common sense. Yes. But I guess my argument is more or less like, okay, we don't need power. We don't need ourselves and our children to be shown an example of children killing, all in the name of money, fame, fortune, whatever the objective of power is. Like, how come we don't see Tyreek, is that the little boy's name, going to school, learning, his dad's honest business instead of the drug game. Why don't we see that as opposed to him out there in the streets too?
Right.
But I agree. A lot of the stuff I see on Facebook, I just scroll by immediately because I'm like, I'm not going to watch.
And it's not just Power. Look at the shows that predated Power. Let's talk about Scandal. Where
Oh, don't you talk about Scandal now?
But you see what I'm saying now? You have got a show like that where the woman rather be the president's side piece than that black senator. These are subliminal messages that they're throwing out there.
Preach.
Or these shows where the mother is happy to be a single mother.
Right. I'm with you. I'm with you. And it says it's the obsession with material things that we spend money. Absolutely. It's like it validates us to have a Louis bag.
Yeah, but you're still living in the hood and you got $200 shoes on.
And you got a bus pass in the Louis bag.
Right.
No shade to a bus pass in the Louis bag, but I'm just saying if that's where your priorities are, then you might want to rethink that. And hey, Eric, it says Houston is full of mentally ill people. Is Al one of them? Jokey joke.
Yeah, hey, we're not talking. No, we're not here. Let's unite, everybody. Woosah, unite.
And Al says the only thing I don't like about Power is on demand. Right after each episode is over, the black lady who is the creator explains the violence.
Oh, that's what kills me too. How can a woman write that garbage?
She's making money. I mean, the what's her name? Mona Scott, the one that's behind
Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop. I mean, hell, it's about money. I will sell my soul to harm my
community
for a check. That's what that's about.
Yeah, so sad.
And Walter says, stack your money and or invest in a business of your own. See, that's too much like right, though.
Right.
Because that's what everybody else does. The other day, me and my daughter were out to lunch, and these two gentlemen that were sitting next to us, I think one was Arab and the other guy was white. And the Arab guy was saying, yes, me and my family, we got 3 Subways and we're getting ready to buy a Taco Bell and a Burger King. That's what we do. We just buy these restaurants, and then, they're talking about businesses.
Did you slip him Deanna's number?
I didn't know. But I was telling her, I said, peep game.
Right.
Listen to the stuff they talk about. They're talking about investing in building, and, that's what we need to be talking about as a people, investing in building. We having lunch, but we talking about making some money to, to pay this lunch off.
Yeah.
And so Benny says, well, the system that I speak of includes them too, because the brothers over there suffering from the same illness we suffer from. That's why I say there's levels to this stuff. All of the solutions. Oops, this thing keeps on wanting to act stupid. All of the solutions. Go back. Oh, you was on one. All the solutions that people are giving are good solutions, but there are steps. Like finances are a good idea, education is a good idea, and knowledge of self is a good idea. But none of these things cannot be achieved successfully collectively until we are able to heal our mental illness. You can start off one of the most pro-black as one of the most pro-black people on earth, but if you become rich without correctly, healing the mind, you will eventually become accustomed to and affordable and comfortable with the power and luxury you will eventually assimilate. The same can be said about education. Absolutely. So what you're saying is if you don't heal yourself, you go right back to where you were before all of that took place. So
and that's what happens to a lot of our athletes and people who...
And I agree with you, because I talk about having knowledge of self all the time. I was in the shower today and I was thinking that I said, thought to myself, a parent with no knowledge of self more than likely are going to breed children
with no knowledge of self.
And that just continues. And like you said, until we get that down and, just heal. Because as Dr. Joyce DeGruy says, we are suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome, in that we have not healed from all of the horrors that we've gone through as a people through slavery up until this very
You've
moment.
never been a slave. What you talking about? We can't compensate you.
Then hand over that money that you spending from my ancestors then.
Oh, no, we can't do that either, because, we've been here. And it's funny that we bring that up because that's exactly what's happening in South Africa as well.
Al says, put your money away, babe. I will be there in a few. Well, if you insist. No. Tay says, the problem is that so many black people refuse to work hard. Robbing, killing, and taking from others is a get-rich quick scheme.
Yeah, but why don't you rob and pillage in another community rather than your own? I can see if you're robbing in another community. I can understand that.
I would just say this. Because it's not just us that's doing it. I mean, I'm not saying anybody doing it is right.
Yeah.
It's not just us. It's just that black people have so many more social ills than everybody else. Another race probably doesn't have to do it. And not that you have to. I hate to use that word, but they don't do it as much because they don't have the issues that we have. Donovan goes to jail for a dime bag of weed for 10 years. He gets out. He's got a felony. He can't work. He can't feed his family.
Right.
They can't eat. What he gonna do? Sit on his hands and starve? I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that.
Wait. Let's kick some real ballistics here. I didn't go to jail for a dime bag of weed. I went for child support.
Oh, you know what?
Okay.
You ain't gonna let it go.
I'm not gonna let it go. I went for child support, and who put me there? A sister.
Moving right along, okay. But yes, we need to stop with the get rich quick schemes and all that hard work and dedication because we come from a people who know about hard work and dedication. That is us, bar none.
No, I'm gonna give you a better example, and this is just my opinion. Okay. I just want you to hear this.
Y'all, this is his opinion.
We have Tay out there, beautiful girl, retiree, hardworking, whatever.
Yes, indeed.
Why are these sisters single? You see what I'm saying? It's like why yourself. You got these sisters.
Well, you a brother. You tell us the answer.
I can't. I don't. I'm looking for those chicks. I'm looking for those girls. But see, the problem is a sister like that and a dude like me, we butt heads because we have our different agendas, So
we need to visit that.
Yeah, we got to. Hey, Misty.
This came up before the table.
Hey, Mama.
Sorry, y'all.
She was defending me because she saw that you were trying to.
I wasn't gonna do nothing to her. Arson, he says last night I was trying to tell my friend Hollywood reflects either was what is happening or is preparing us to accept what will be. Sometimes they will make our present fears pass as mist and
you gotta be bad.
Let's see, as mist. And some other times they may set it up so that in the future we desensitize by something that we currently know is bad. Bottom line, like you guys said, we need to filter what is. TV is not an only entertainment tool. It is not. It is what they say. Television tells lies to your vision. And so you sit up and you watch that all day. Then you begin to, you know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes it's hard for people to separate things. How many times? Like I remember a case years ago where a little boy. He wasn't so little. He was about 12, but he was bigger than a little girl. He was wrestling with her. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Where he killed her.
He
say he was
watching wrestling.
Driving her.
Yeah.
And then he said, he was watching wrestling.
Didn't Walter used to do that to you and Amanda?
No.
Couple headbutts, atomic elbows.
We used to do that to him.
Okay.
And Yusudo says, we are killers amongst ourselves, but when others come into our community, we are cowards and bystanders.
We don't do nothing. When my dad was a young man, you could not come in the neighborhood without somebody from his group gang asking you what's up, what's going on.
Well, it's self-hate. And we've been taught to hate ourselves and to love and praise everybody else. And so just like it's not a thing for a lot of white people and other people to take a black life, it's nothing for us to do it either. It's just, and it's sad. So I agree with your point. And Walker says, Al, you lost me on Maxine. She's worse than Jim Crow. I don't think it was Al, it was Ed.
Yeah, Ed.
He says she's worse than Jim Crow. Damn.
Thank you, brother. See, I'm not the only one that sees what's going on.
And Walter's actually had the opportunity to meet Maxine.
Oh, so basically Maxine is like a Denise Fleming.
Well, no, he said they were at the Voodoo Lounge somewhere in L.A. It's, I guess, a very high-priced lounge.
High-end.
And he says here she's at the Voodoo Lounge. He said the dinner was thousands of dollars that they paid for, but yet her constituents are poor. So
think about it.
Yeah.
Think about that.
And Arson says, "Oh yeah, and by the way, I know I'm late, but I'm gonna watch The Purge right after your show."
Oh, right on. Yes,
watch it. And Shantae Tay says she is no Democrat.
Oh, right on. Welcome aboard.
And
welcome
me either.
aboard.
And Al says, yesterday at the movies, the girls told me they want to see the Purge movie because it has a lot of black people in it. That's right. Take those girls to see that movie. Can they see the movie? They can see the movie.
Well, if you ever want to see a show that has a lot of black people, Cops.
Really?
Yeah,
Cops?
we're on Cops a lot. So.
That show still come on?
Yeah.
Oh, God. And
Cops Live. Now we're on Cops Live.
Really? Yeah. And Eric says, One of my friends got killed last night by a mentally ill man. Wow, my condolences.
Man.
That's yeah, we do need to deal with the mental illness, but a lot of times in our community, we don't even acknowledge that it exists.
And you're mentally ill when you live in an environment that is high in the death rate and stuff, and you don't have insurance on your children.
Yeah, you get some insurance on you get yourself, your kids, and all of that.
I get tired of seeing these car washes and stuff. It's just sad.
And then Dean says, never watch Power or any of those shows. Me either.
Yeah,
I'm lying. I did watch Power.
Yeah, but
somebody asked me to do it, and then I was like, no, I ain't doing it no more. This show is just...
It's garbage.
It's the worst. It's
and what kills me is you'll find people that will watch that show, but then you're talking about, I can't watch any war movies because I'm anti-war. What do you think you're watching in Power?
Right. Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost. And he said, I'm glad I don't own a TV. I don't own a TV either, but I do have a computer screen that looks like a TV. So I watch YouTube and stuff like that. But as far as, cable, I don't have that or a TV. I don't have a physical TV.
Right.
And Tate says, we don't need shows like Power or Empire. We need more shows like A Different World or Love Is. We need to show that we are educated, united, and proud of being black. Our youth is so focused on
material things.
Getting rich quick by way of NFL, NBA, or being a rapper or a singer. Absolutely.
Now, who's teaching them that?
You tell me, because I'm sure my answer won't suffice. So
No.
Your
answer always does suffice. But a good example, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because you moms do a lot for us. LeBron's mom, she's waiting for that paycheck to come. Like, they push these sons, they push these kids to make that big thing. Or a good example, how many of you guys remember when T.I. opened that strip club up in Atlanta? And all those girls showed up with their resumes.
Right. Is there a stripper resume for real?
Yeah, which was totally hilarious to me. Now ask yourself, how many of those strippers that showed up for that job fair? That's what it was.
Strip fair?
Yeah, it was a job fair. How many of their moms that dropped them off or was waiting in the car with their kids while they went to the interview?
I can't stand you.
It's the truth. That's what was happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that is passed down because we settle for what's that word? Mediocrity. Mediocrity.
And I just finished a book by Carter G. Woodson, The Miseducation of the Negro. I read it years ago, but I read it again, and it talked about Tay's point in that we prepare our children to be something. Somebody's got to be an NBA player, but then somebody too has got to maybe go off to school or learn a family business, reinvent your father's mechanic business or your mom's washing or cleaning service or something. I'm just using those examples.
Yeah, or somebody's got to be an owner.
Yeah, because we need those things. Everybody,
Why are we always the players? Yeah.
But what's the statistics in people being a football player, NBA player?
The chances of being an NBA player is less than 1%.
Right, so...
Now you're talking about guys that are in college, the guys that are not in college, the guys that are coming out of high school.
Right.
So that's why that's why the NBA is constantly making up these rules, because what was happening was young blacks were foregoing college to make their hoop dreams. Right. And so the NBA, that organization said you got to do one and done at least.
Okay.
And that's where that rule came into play, and they shut the door on Kobe, and Kobe and those guys were like the last guys to come out of high school.
Because he went when he was 18.
Yeah, 18 right out of high school. Him and LeBron, they said no, because that was hurting our community, because these moms were like, and don't be wrong, you support your sons like you're supposed to, but what happens when he doesn't make it?
Right. I agree. And Al says, black men being Democrats is like having sex. They just don't know when to pull out law.
Amen, brother.
Houston says, black men are Democrats because of lack of knowledge.
Yes.
Research is a curse from slavery, scared to read. Absolutely. And Benny says, consumerism is merely one of many symptoms of trauma we suffer from. Yep, we got to have it.
Right.
We've been taught it. And you guys, too, another documentary, not to wave my finger at you, to watch is long, but it's good. It's called The Century of the Self.
Yeah.
You can find that on YouTube. It's in 4 parts. The Century of the Self speaks to Benny's point. Please watch that. And Eric says, Star Furniture is #1 in Houston. That's the furniture company. So #1 as far as business or places to work.
Okay.
Hey Yolanda, he says, our son Lucas thinks. So he invited Jen. How you doing? And Benny says, exactly. That's why it's called generational trauma. Yes, we just keep teaching it over and over.
And we're teaching these kids now nothing. I mean, again, 74% of women are not married, have never been married in the black community.
You want to have this argument again?
No, we're not having the argument. But what I'm saying is, for whatever reasons, we are in the state that we are right now. Well, let's have this conversation. We are in the state that we are right now. We got to deal with what we're dealing with now. We got to stop telling our black women and young girls that, oh, you can do it on your own. You can do it on your own.
But why would you want to?
Right. But at the same time, marriage is a good thing.
Right. Well,
yeah, it's a good thing.
Why don't y'all marry us?
Y'all don't act right. No, I'm messing with you. I'm just saying.
Okay. Says it's about changing our mindset, reprogramming.
Reprogramming, exactly.
That's you know, I used to always say this too. Sometimes you got to take people by force.
Yeah.
You know, like listen, like that. You know, used to know says if you drive through the ghetto and look in most driveways, you'll see $80,000 cars, but no grass and no screen doors.
Yep. And then you go in the house of horrors. House of horrors.
$80,000 car. I like, what does that look like? You know, I don't think I've ever been in an $80,000 car before, but damn. And Walter says, Donovan, be careful. Talk about Maxine. As Kate says, I'm single because I haven't met the right man yet. I need to filter better.
Hey, my mom says this: when your standards are too high, lower them. So I'll see you. I'll see you. I'll see you Thursday at
damn well
Frank and Friends.
Say that. And Vinny says the subconscious. And Al says a lot of these sisters are single because a man's nappy hair can't match her neck. Hey, Kalanji, where have you been? He says a lot of our people are afraid of inclusion or being secluded from other races.
Yes, it's true. Very true. I agree with that.
I don't understand it, though. And Tay says, Maxine Waters is someone I have known since I was a kid. I have my opinions, but it's personal, not political. And I think that's where a lot of people who know her would say that. She seems like a nice lady.
No,
she's like a very, I can see why people liken her to Auntie Maxine and stuff. But I guess the question politically becomes, well, what has she done? You know, well, she's been in there, 30 years?
30 years, man.
So, yeah, and then she also says, no, Donovan, it's live PD now.
Oh, it's live PD, yeah.
And Yusno says, I can answer that black women of today will rebel against their partner, but will bow to the system. Most black women will obey their lesbian lover before they follow the lead of a black man. Oh, Lord.
Speak, brother.
That I have no knowledge of. Okay. Hey, Charles. And Kalanja, you says, I don't watch TV. It's most garbage. They need to show the parts of history that they have never shown. You know what? I agree, but the problem with that is we ain't gonna watch it.
Nope, exactly.
Let Tyler Perry come out with Medea Goes to Egypt and see how many crickets be up in that movie theater. And then Ben says, hey, leave the strippers alone. They provide a much needed service.
Yes. Hey, I support single mothers. I'm in there. I used to be in there every week, but I support single moms.
Kay says, my family is a part of an organization that hands out scholarships to black youth. You would be proud to see what the kids are doing going to college for. Well, no, and that's admirable. And I think, if we got it, we should also give it. So that is a very awesome thing. I mean, we need to, help ourselves and help others. So, yeah, I commend your family for that. And we also award black business owners in the LA area. There are so many good black people out here doing good, but are overshadowed by power and Tyler Perry. Absolutely. And so that's why I push back on the myth, if you will, at black people or all black people are this or all black people are that. Are there, black men are deadbeats and, all this other stuff, because that's a small amount of us, I would like to say, but it gets, like you said, overshadowed by the others.
Right.
And Walter said we need to bring shows like Cosby's Show back. Because he has a troubled past doesn't mean we can't learn from it. When actors go nuts, we don't stop emulating their shows. They are the show. They are not the show. Rather, just an actor. No, I agree, and we know what that was about with Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was one of the very few black men that was what you would call woke, like for real, not this, the trendy woke, but he was really onto something. It's like out of all the shows he could have did. He did one about, a powerful black family doing good things. And so, didn't want to see that, did we? Well, we did, but somebody didn't want us to see it.
The best show out there was That's My Mama, Clifton Davis. Everybody loves Mama. Al
says, okay, I tried to wait, but I can't. Al Jack's joking today. I should pre-read this first.
Yeah, pre-read it, please. Yes, no, maybe so.
Al Jack joking today, my stepdad had the flu when he was arrested for theft. In prison, he got his throat examined and his prostate checked. When inmates were done, he actually got a chance to see the doctor. Oh my God.
I have a feeling Al it wasn't very fond of his stepdad.
And no, his stepdad wasn't one of his favorite people.
Right.
Yeah, hey, how did you guess?
Yeah, it just dawned on me.
Benny, Al was a damn fool.
And
so I don't see any more comments, so I'm going to get to the last. How much time we got on
here?
here?
We got 15 minutes.
15 minutes. We can do it.
You can do it.
We can do it. Okay. So the next topic, and I don't see him on here. He's usually on here every week, but it comes and we'll deal with it briefly because I want to talk about Charlemagne just briefly. Now, the next topic comes from DeMello Holland. He wants us to discuss when should parents let their kids do for themselves, especially when they refuse to go to college and keep quitting their jobs.
Right there. There's your answer right there. That's it. Right there.
The answer was in the question.
Yeah, exactly. That was it right there. When they don't want to go to school and they don't want to, they keep losing their job, that's when you cut them off.
Adios. And it was, okay, so for example, when should a parent stop paying their child's cell phone bill?
You should never be paying the child his cell phone bill. I got all these answers.
I knew you was going to be on top of this.
Yes.
And I said, like my father always says, I ain't going to help you do nothing. You know, so.
But here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying cut them off, but sometimes, even if they're good kids, especially our boys, you need to cut them off and let them figure it out themselves. And
okay,
you will
now define cut them off.
What I mean cut off, okay, let's say you have the perfect child and they do everything right, whatever it does. Now they're grown. Okay. You have to give them a semblance of being grown, and don't underestimate your kids, because if you've given them all the tools that they need, they're going to survive.
And you stole my talking point. Because my talking point is, to that point, if we start teaching our kids from the cradle that we have expectations and how to go about life, then they should be all right,
Be all right.
It's never the time to start teaching them when they're 18 or close to 18. Okay, this is what men do. This is what women do. Now you got to know. That's supposed to be second nature to them. And I always tell people this about my brother who was on here. Don't let the suit fool you. You know, my brother, wears suits a lot because it's his profession and stuff. But he know how to fix a car. Right. Because my father was a mechanic. And so, he took him to the shop. We all went, but my brother being a boy, he went to the shop and learned the trade and stuff. So he can fix the car.
Yeah, he knows how to feed himself.
Right. So you got to teach your kids what you want them to know in order to survive.
Because if you keep handicapping them by bailing them out, or they think, well, mom and dad will pay for it. Well, what if mom and dad ain't here?
But I don't know if this is was DeMello's point to himself. But if you got a child and you paying their cell phone bill and they ain't going to school, they're not working, they just sitting up sucking up air conditioning and
time to put them out.
And cell phone usage, this is gonna be your last phone call on me.
My son, who turned, when he turned 18, he graduated. We cut everything off. Everything that was in our name, it was gone. No, but we had already prepared him for that. We said, you're going to be 18. You can't be both. You can't be a child and a man at the same time.
Well, but I differ with you on that, and that I think a lot of you guys can speak to this too. I don't want to say it's just us, but predominantly black people, when a kid even smells like they're going to be 18, you're like, you're out of here. I'm going to go do me. You're grown, and they not grown.
Well, no. Okay, we differ in that, but we're not really. When I say cut it off, I'm saying now put it in your name, and we will help you. See what I'm saying? We're getting off of it.
I've had the license in your name all these years.
But no, but in all seriousness, that's what happened in my son's situation. It's like, okay, you're grown now. You take care of your bill.
Got it.
And then, okay, now it's in his name. He ain't paying the bill on it. It ain't going on my credit report.
But you're not saying that you just totally cut him off. Get your hobo sack and hit the road.
But by putting it in his name, now he knows the value of what's going to happen. So I raised my kid. He's my son. I love him to death. Don't sit out there and get off, Dad, I need to borrow some money. Why? Well, I didn't have enough money. I didn't, make enough hours this week, whatever.
I get what you're saying, because when it's in his name, he owns it, not just the phone, but he owns the situation.
And he appreciates the fact that this is on me, not on my parents.
Got you, brother. But you're not saying you just snatched up the life raft.
No, and I hate this. And this goes on in our community all the time. We were talking about earlier how these mothers, they put all their eggs in one basket, hoping that kid makes it to the NFL or the NBA and he doesn't make it. Then they want to kick him out. I think that's wrong, especially if you've provided for him, and Ray, we'll get you the Jordans, we'll do all this stuff for you, and then he's 18.
Yeah, you got to prepare.
He's still
kids.
playing Xbox. Now you want to kick him out because you're tired of seeing him on the couch while you're still going to work.
Light bill.
Right, you know. So I think that's totally wrong because you did not prepare him.
Got you. Okay, so Yusinovi says we have to start building black businesses that can support generation. I know of a few black businesses that's been around for generations. Building future wealth will cut our dependence on the system. Absolutely, it is, and that's what I would say too. As far as especially with life insurance, I know a lot of times in our community it's like, oh gosh, that's a bill. I don't want no life insurance. I ain't gonna leave them rich. No, it's about leaving a legacy. It's not about leaving debt. That's how other people do it. They pass on a legacy to continue building.
Right. I have a message from a friend of mine named Ronnie. She says, real talk, Demetra. This is something Eddie, her husband, who's a Marine Corps officer and killer, and I have tried to instill in our kids since day one, and she has some very awesome kids. So
and that's how you have awesome kids, by teaching them from day one. Not, well, you 18, let me give you the do's and the don'ts of life.
Right, and it's too late now because so.
And then Ali says, do you and Donovan believe in psychokinesis? Raise my hand. That must have been a nerd joke because I went right over my head. And Yusinovi says, I have 4 daughters at the age, he said, I have 4 daughters at the age of 5. I started teaching them about credit, owning their own business and needs over wants.
That's it. That's when you do it.
It becomes second nature. And so they don't just get out there and say, okay, I have no idea about anything.
Here's a good example. It is hot as Hades here in Riverside. Remember when we were coming up? Where's the lemonade stand? Where's the frozen cup person?
Well, they getting the police called on.
That was you on that one. That wasn't me. That was her.
You asked.
Yeah, but you remember those days?
I remember having a lemonade stand.
Yeah, but you don't see that anymore.
I remember getting a whooping too because it's not using all the sugar.
Yeah, using all the damn sugar. But it's not taught anymore. You don't see that in the community. So it's very sad.
All right, so because for the sake of time, I'm going to get to the Charlamagne the God thing, and I don't want to talk about the Charlamagne thing, whether he's guilty or he's not. But for those of you guys who've been following the news, Charlamagne the God has been, I guess he was accused of rape 16 years ago. 16 years ago by a 15-year-old. He pled to a lesser charge of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, all this other stuff. If he's guilty or whatever, whatever happened to him, they're not going to press charges. I'm not even here to debate that. Okay. If he did what she's saying he did, he's wrong, end of story. My problem is this, you guys. Now, when the girl was on giving an interview with a guy named Star, she was saying that Charlamagne came to her house a few times to pick her up, and that he met her mother. And so as I'm hearing this story, I'm like, what mama in her right mind would allow her underage daughter to get in the car with a grown man and say, okay, see you later? You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because at some point in time, and I'm speaking to the mothers and fathers too if you're doing this, but specifically to the mothers, we got to stop being so haphazard with the life of our children. A grown man shows up to your door and wants to take your underage daughter somewhere. You open the door and say, okay, see you later? Or do you say, get your off my porch? She ain't going nowhere with you. What do you want to hang out with my child for? You know what I'm saying? So at some point in time, and I'm not victim blaming or victim shaming, but I am making a point to say that some of that is avoidable. You know what I mean? I'm not saying if the girl is going to go out there on her own, okay, maybe there's nothing you can do about that to some degree, but don't open the door for a situation like that to occur.
Well, again, a lot of us don't even know that our daughters are dating some of these dudes.
Well, I mean, you can't know everything, but as far as opening the door, hey,
but
see you later.
But like I said, if my nieces came and brought me their boyfriend, first thing I'm asking, like you saw me asking a lot of questions when they were here, and it's like, what you gonna do, boy? If he's rich. Hey, Gloria, get on down here and get this boy something. Stupid. You better give him something.
But that's what people used to do. When you saw a boy showed up to your door, you give him the whole once over. You know what you doing? What you finna be doing? What you want to do with my daughter? You know. Right. And he was like, okay, I gotta come correct. And let's see. And Alu says, my son was 18. I brought him a phone and paid the bill. The first time I called him, the phone answered on his end, but did not ring on my end. So he picked up the phone and said, what does this MF want? Lord have mercy. And let's see. What does this MF want? From that point on, he had to pay his own bill.
Wow.
Why are you lying? And Tay says black women do that all the time. Ike Turner, R. Kelly.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know, and then at the time, Charlamagne, I think he was a radio DJ locally or whatever. So I don't know how big he was then, but that is an excellent point, Tay.
Wait a minute. She ain't talking about
Ike Turner. Yes, she is talking about Ike.
Because you know I live by the book of Ike.
The book of Ike.
Ike. His side of the story. I'm telling you. Trying to show us black men how to treat y'all black women. Make y'all successful. You know, y'all could be something in life. I mean, y'all the only group of women that can have a baby, walk home that same day.
And get on the stage.
Yeah, get on the stage.
How about nut bush? But no, to your point,
oh, man.
No amount of money should make you, escort your daughter into
danger,
harm's way. I mean, potentially. I mean, anybody letting their daughter go off with R. Kelly at this point, listen, we ain't gonna blame R. Kelly no more. We gonna blame your ass. Because you know who he is.
Well, a good example. I mean, my father-in-law didn't let me walk up into, with Afro Thunderlocks because, he asked me, do I got a job? Am I educated?
Okay.
He gave me the riot act, but I was willing to go through that.
Right. You had all the answers.
That's it. I had it all ready to go.
And let's see. Tay says they want to come up for the daughter. That's exactly what it is. I mean, we know that.
Yeah, they're putting the daughter out there.
The Tina Turner story was fiction because there's a lot that they didn't say that, for one, she had a child
with another band member, right? The bass player, right?
Yeah, but we saw the part when her mama was like, I told him where you was.
Right.
Ike bought me a house.
Right. Yeah, he rolls up on the flowers. He said, let me pay for that.
Yeah.
And then she was addicted to the money.
Right,
So.
Hey, Marcus, what's happening? And Al says, hopefully this incident will get Charlamagne or cheap champagne, whatever that stupid name is, to get his donkey ass fired off the radio. Well, you know what? I honestly don't think that Charlamagne should be fired. He was already charged for something. The girl and her mama, for whatever reason, didn't want to press charges. The civil suit is past the statute of limitation.
Right, but once again, I'm gonna say this, and I'm saying this for the record. You single moms out there, stop leaving your daughters in the home with your boyfriends and whatever else is going on, because that is prevalent in a lot of communities, and I can only speak for my community. It is, to me, a very high rate that we do that.
I agree. I mean, but I think Tay said it perfectly.
Yeah, she did.
It's the come up. What's in it for me? You
know,
know?
That's what moms are doing now. Exactly, these young moms.
But I don't think he should be fired. I think he answered to the charge that he was charged with. Like I said, they didn't want to press charges. He paid his debt to society, whatever that was. It's not even really known if he actually has sex with her or not. The story is all over the place, and so she doesn't want money. Is what she says. So Donovan looked at me crazy. She says she doesn't want money, but I just wonder what is it that she wants then? I guess she's saying
why bring it up?
She wants closure, is what she said.
You got your closure. Go about your business.
And so Tay says, but that's the game now. Women get rich dudes to secure the bag. Yes.
Well, here's the good thing. I ain't got to worry about that because I ain't rich, so don't worry about it.
Stop lying. But no, that's really the long and the short of it. And so how much time we got?
Got 2 minutes.
We got 2 minutes. And so I don't see any more comments. I will read them as we get out of here. I'd like to say thank you to the podcast because you guys will be leaving us first. And then YouTube. And let's see. Marcus says, R. Kelly need another Ignition song and all is forgiven. I'm just saying, you know what? It's sad because we have given R. Kelly a lot of passes. We've given him a lot of passes. I mean, and he's shown us who he is over and over again. The reporter, Jim DeRogatis, who's been following him for 20 years, is a white guy. He says, I have learned that following R. Kelly, that the black woman is the most disregarded person in the world. This is a white guy.
And have you noticed that his wife came out and started talking? And the only reason she did that is because he stopped paying her.
Yeah, but it's like, lady, please, you knew who you was with.
Exactly.
Hell, come on now.
But why is she coming out? Because the check stopped.
Her bag is unsecured now.
Right. So now she's going to say something, but she let all that stuff go down. You know.
And Al says, if it weren't for the gutter, a lot of these sorry guys' minds would be homeless down. And he says it gets back 18 years of child support, and then after that the system runs dry, so it goes back 18 years. Well, anyway, you guys, that's all I have. Bye, podcast. See you guys and hear you guys next week. And I don't see any more comments on here, so I will start to leave here. Thank you very much for joining us this Sunday. It's always a blast. Every time we leave here, Donovan says, that was really a good show.
Really good job.
So I agree. You guys make the show what it is, and to YouTube. I will see you guys next week. If you guys have